Hello guys, in the last video we designed this game's screen. So in this video we will give the logic. So before first of all let's run this app in the emulator. For that we need to call our game screen in the main activity. Game screen and let's press on run. As we can see our screen is looking good but this blue line is coming. This blue line is called status bar. We also need to change the color of this status bar to the same color of the background. For that, we need to go to the resource folder and there is a package called values and there is a XML file of color. So for that, let's duplicate this and let's add new color, gray background. We can see the code of this color in our Kotlin color file. Its color is F5, F7, F6. Let's copy and paste here. And we will use this color in the themes.xml file. Here purple 700 color is using. We will use our gray background. And also we need to add one more item, Android window light status bar to true. This will give an error, so we will click on the more action and suppress with tools target API. Okay, so now let's run again our app. Okay, so now it's looking better. So let's close these two files. This also. Okay, so before starting giving the logic, first we need to see the states. So what these states are in Jetpack Compose. So let's see. So states are the values that can change during the use of our app. So what this mean is any value which can change during the usage of app, that will be a state. So let's see in our app what are what are the values that can change during the execution of app. So in the first row we can see there are players counts. So these player counts will change after every win and draw. So the count of this will be a state because this will change while using the app. So the player O count, draw count and player X count, there will be three states in the first row. And in that this text, this will not change during the whole lifetime of this app. So this text will not be a state. And this hint text, this will also be a state because this hint text will also change after every click. So again this will be a state. This play again will not change during the execution of app. So this play again button will not be a state. One more value will be the state, that will be this this these cells of this grid. So in this cell there can be three type of value, that is circle, X, cross or none. So this cell value will also be a state. So what we do, we keep all these state in a data class. So let's create a data class and put all these in that. In this package, let's create a class game state. This will be a data class. Well, player circle count, it will be of integer type, and initial value of this player circle count will be 0. uh, Next thing is player cross count. Its initial value will also be 0. Draw count, again it will also be of integer type and initial value will be 0. Hint text, it will be of string type and initial value will be player o turn, because when we will start the game it will say player o turn, because first player o will click on the board cell. For storing the cell value of this board, I will take the name current turn. It will be of type board cell value. Because there is no such type, so we will create an enum class. In that enum class, we will store all the possible values of this board cell value. It can be of circle, cross, and none. So I will keep the initial value cell. Board cell value dot cross, because whenever we open the app, when we click on the cell, it will be a circle. Two more values we need to keep in this state. First one will be fill first one will be our victory type, because we need to draw different lines for different victories. We can keep all those in this state. Well, victory type, it will also be of victory type. So we will create this victory type in the enum class victory type. So in this victory type there will be 8 possible values. Those 8 possible values will be of same as we draw those 8 lines in the last videos. That will be horizontal line 1, horizontal line 2 and 3. Vertical line, let's keep it simply horizontal 1, horizontal 2, horizontal 3. Vertical 1, vertical 2, vertical 3, and two more, diagonal 1, diagonal 2, and one more value, that will be none. So let's give the initial value of this victory type to none, because when we play the game, it will be none value. Whenever any player will win the game, it will detect which type of win is this, and it will put the value to that type. And let's create one more type that will be a boolean value has one. We will discuss later why we are keeping these two more values. I will put the initial value to false. So what we will do, we will take this game state into our view model, because in that view model we will change the states according to the situation of this app. So let's create a class called game view model. Game view model. Let's extend it to view model from view model. Well, state is equal to mutable state of game state. With this mutable state, we will read and write the values according to the screens, according to the screen state. So we need to keep it in the where, because with the help of where we can change this state. We also need to keep all the users action in one more class. So first let's see what can be the user section. So user can do only two actions. That will be a user can only click on any of this board cell, or it can play it can click on the play again button. To deal with these two user actions, we need to create a sealed class, user action sealed class. In this sealed class, we will keep all the user section. First user action can be play again button clicked of type user action, and other action can be the tapping on the board cell, any of the board cell. So for that we also need the cell number on, on which the user has tapped. So for that we will take a data class board tapped. In that data class we will take the cell number also of type user action. We have used this cell number because we need to know the cell number on which the user has tapped. So for that we have used the data class, not only simply object. So let's deal with both these actions in the view model. So in this view model, we will create a function called onAction. So it will receive an action, user action. Let's rename this user action file by pressing Shift F6 and to simply user action. When action we will press alt enter and add remaining branches, so it will put all these values. Board tabbed. One more thing we need to do before dealing with these actions, we have to assign all these cell values to a number. For that we can create a map. So let's create val board items. It will be of mutable map. In that mutable map we will map our an integer value to our board cell value. Mutable map of, we will map 1 to board cell value to none. In this way I will map all the 9 value to none, because initially we need to keep all the cell value to none. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, control D, 9. Okay, so in this map we have map all our value to an integer. When a user tapped on the board, so what we will do, we will add values. We will call a function called add value to board. So what we will do, we will add the value to this map. Whichever cell will be clicked, we will map that value to that cell number. For that we need to, there will also be an cell number will also come with this board tab. So let's create a function called add value to board. By pressing alt enter, create function add value to board. So in this function what we will do, first we will check that if if in that board item, that is this, if the value is not none, it means if this board item in that particular cell number there is some value like other than none, means circle or cross, then what we will do, we will say it to return. What this return will do, it will simply doesn't do anything, because if the value is there already, the user has to tab any other cell. So we will say return. Now we will check if it's a turn of, if the current turn is of circle or not. So this state value we can't access right now. So let's see what. So here we need to use the by keyword. So it needs to be imported. So we will press alt enter, again alt enter. So it will import these two values. So now here we can access those state values. State dot current turn. If the current turn is of circle, so what we will do, we will take the board item in that particular cell number and assign the value of circle to that board value in that board item. And we will also change the state of that after putting that circle value. So what, let's take the state dot copy. What this copy will do, it will change only those value which we will change here, and it will keep all the other values to the same as before. Hint text player x turn and current turn board cell value dot cross. So after putting that circle value, what we will do, we will change the states of the game to we will change the hint text to player x turn, because it will be player x turn, and we will keep the current turn state to cross like this. Now we will check if the current turn is of cross. In the same way we will deal with this. We will take the cell number of that particular board and assign the value to cross, because now cross player has tapped on the board. Single. And again we need to change the states. So let's copy this value and paste here. Hint text will be current player O turn, and current turn will be circle. Okay. So we have created this function in this user action. So we need to align this user action to that board on that tapped of that board cell. So for that we need to use this game view model in the game screen. Let's pass here view model, game view model, and also val state is equal to view model dot state. I have kept this value to val because in this screen we just need to read that value. We don't need to change the value through this screen. We can only change the value through our view model. So that's why I have kept it to val. Also this screen is giving error because in that preview function we have to use the parameter game view model. So this board here, in this box we have designed this board, and there is a board base, and for putting that circle or cross we need to make the cells. So let's see the picture view. We can see that there is a board this, and there is a board cell. What we can do, we can make a grid of this type, and like this we will create 9 cells. So for that grid we will take the lazy vertical grid. These columns will be of fixed number. Grid cell dot fixed of 3. So column in our vertical grid, the column will be fixed number 3, and that content we will use in this parenthesis. and also use the modifier. What I have did in this lazy vertical grid, it will take the fill maximum width and only 90% of that fill max width it will take, because our box is of fill max width means 100%, so it will take only that grid 90%. And also I have kept it aspect ratio to 1f. What it will do, same, it will take the same size of height as of width. So in this lazy vertical grid, for all those board items, for each, what we will do, we will create a cell. This will be a cell number. Item, for each item we will, whatever we will put in this item block, it will apply to all the items in that grid. We only need to provide the value of single item. So in that item we will use a column. So in this item, what we will do, we will take a column. In that column, again, it will take the fill max width of that particular cell, and it will keep it to of square. So I have take this aspect ratio to 1, and also it will be a clickable cell. So I have used this clickable, and the content will be center horizontally and vertically also. So in that column we will check if board cell value is equal to board cell value dot circle. If it's circle value, then we will use our circle, that same circle we designed in the last screen. But let's press Ctrl B, this circle we will use this. Again, let's go back to that screen. Here, if else if board cell value is equal to cross, we will use the cross. In this clickable, as we need to assign that user action, because whenever this cell will be clicked, it will call that board tabbed action. So for that, let's see ViewModel dot on action user action dot play again button clicked, and what it will do, it will take the cell value, cell number, not this play again button click, board tabbed. So what it will do, whenever user click on that cell, it will call this user action to board. It will call this on action function. In that on action function, it will take this board tabbed action, and it will, what it will do, it will call this add value to board function. In this add value to board function, first it will check if it's, if in that particular cell it's already there is some cross or circle value. If it's not, it will check if the turn is of circle, and if the circle's turn, it will put the circle value. If it's cross turn, it will put the cross value. So now we can run our app and check how it's working. It's giving error because we need to pass our view model in this game screen. For that view model, let's create here view model is equal to view model game view model. This view model is same like this. It's the same dependency we pasted on that Gradle file. So here we are using that dependency. Here it knows that which one is the view model of our screen. So here we will pass this view model. Now let's rerun the app. Let's play a game. 0x. We can say there is some clickable effect whenever we press the screen like this, and also this hint text is not changing. So for these two things we need to change in our file. So let's go to the game screen. First we will deal with this clickable effect. We don't need this clickable effect. So what we will do in that lazy vertical grid, in that item there is a clickable function, and we will change the parameters of this clickable function. Interact First we will change the interaction source, mutable interaction source, and also indication to null. With these two parameters we can remove our clickable effect. And also let's deal with that hint text. For that hint text, this is a constant value. So what we can do, we can take the state hint text. So what it will do, it will read the state of that hint text. So initial in the starting it will, let's press Ctrl B. So in the starting it will say player or turn. So when it will change, let's go to the view model. Here whenever some value will be put in that board, it will change the state of that hint text to player x turn. If it's player x turn, it will change the hint text to player o turn. So now let's see these changes in the emulator. Let's run. Now let's play again. Okay, so we can see now there is no such clickable effect, but again, and also we can see the hint text is also changing like this. But one more thing we need to do is this: it is not animating like this. It should be smaller, and then gradually it will become bigger. So this is the animation. So we need this animation. For that, let's complete this. Okay, so for that, let's go to our game screen, and in that lazy vertical grid, where we simply used this if else conditions. So what we can do, we can use, there is a composable function called animated visibility. So what it will do, it will animate the visibility of the items dif- differently. So let's cut and put here. So it needs to take the value of visible. So it needs to know when this visibility will be on and when it will be off. So it needs a boolean value. So what we can do, we can say it takes the value from the. So what I have did is, I have said it to whenever there is other than the none value in that map, in this board map. So what it will do, it will check if the value is other than none value in that particular cell. So if the value is false, whenever the value will be true, so it will animate that particular cell like this. And again, we need to define what type of animation we need. For that, we will say we need the enter animation. Whenever the item in that animated visibility function will come in that particular cell, we need scale in animation. Scale in. Tween. With the help of this tween, we can assign the time of that animation. I have used 1000 millisecond, means 1 second. It is saying that this scale in API is experimental. So let's use this opt-in for experimental API. So what it will do, it will paste this annotation in our on top of our game screen. Okay, so this is fine. So with this animated visibility, we can animate our item. So now let's run our app and see the changes. So let's play our game again. Look, now it is showing the animation also. And also hint text is changing. So now the game has been drawn, but it is not showing the here draw text, hint text to draw, game draw, and also it is not increasing this draw count. So let's deal with this. For that, let's go to our view model And in that view model, in this add value to board function, we will check if the board has been full or not. For that, here we will take the if condition, if has board full, because there is no such function right now, so let's create one. It will return the boolean value. In this has board full, in this function it will return the boolean value. So in the first line we can see it it will check in that board item. Here in this board items, it will check if any value it contains board dot none. If it contains some blank cells, so it will return the false value. If all the board cells are occupied, so it will return true value. So here let's use this. If board has been full, so what we will do, we will change the states. We will change these two states. The first one is hint text. We will change the hint text to game draw. So whenever the board has been full, so it will say game draw. It will also increase our draw count. And in that else condition, we will use these two states. Means if the board is not full, then we will change the current turn to cross. In the same way, we will deal here also. Let's copy this and paste here. Else so now let's run our app and see these changes. Look, it is showing the game draw hint text, but it is not increasing this draw count value because I forgot to change this text value to state. Now let's run our app again and see. Now it is showing the hint text to draw, and draw count is also increased to 1. So now what user can do, user can click on this play again button, but it is not doing anything. So we will provide the functionality of this play again button. For that, let's go to our view model, and this in this user action, we will do, Whenever someone click on that play again button, we need to reset our game. So we will make a new function called game reset. In this game reset function, what we will do, we will change all each item of this board item again to none. So what it will do, it with this for each loop, it will take all these items and assign the value to none. So again this map will be, all the values of this map will be none. And also we need to change some states. We will change these states whenever someone click on that play again button. So what these states are: hint text, player or turn, because whenever a new game will be start, so it need this hint needs to say player or turn, and first turn will be of circle. And we need to change these two values also. We will discuss later why I changed these two values also. So now let's align this play again button to our button, this function to our button. So for that, let's go to the game screen and go to that button. Here there is the on click function. In that on click function, we will save, it needs to call view model. In that view model, on action user action dot play again button clicked. So in this way it will call this function here. So what it will do, it will reset the game, this. So now let's run our app. Let's play one more game. Again we try to draw the game. Hint text is changed to draw and draw count has increased to 1. Let's click on this play again button. So now what it has done is, again it has changed the player or turn hint text, and this is same draw count to 1 because one game has been drawn already. So let's play one more game. This time we will try to win the game. This, but again it is not saying to that the someone has win the game, and it is also, it is not stopping us to click on that board like this. So we need to provide these two functionality this time. So first we will provide this check if the if someone has won or not. For that, in that add values to board, if it's circle's turn, then we will provide the circle value to that particular cell and check if the circle has win or not. For that, in this if condition, we will check whether someone has win or not. For that, let's create a new function called check for victory. let's change this rename again. So how can we check someone has win or not? It's a very simple game because there are only 8 possibilities someone can win. So what we will do, we will take all these 8 possibilities and check one by one. Check if someone has met those condition or not. For that, let's create a when function. So like this, we can check the values one by one. Like this, first I have checked if the board value in the cell number 1 and cell number 2 and cell number 3 is same. If it's same, then it will return the true to that function. And also it will change the state. We will change our state of victory type to horizontal one. Why we are changing this state? Because in this way we will know which type of victory has been done. So in that way we can draw our red line of that particular victory type. For that I have changed this state victory type of that victory type. And the initial value of this victory type was this none, because initially there will be no victory whenever someone win the game. So we will change the state of that victory type. What I will do, I will just copy this and paste and change only these 3 values. So in this way, we can check all our victory. So in the last, I have provided this else branch. So if any of this condition is not met, then this else branch will say return false. So let's minimize this function from here, and we will use our this function here. We will check if if the circle has win. If it has win, then we need to change some states. So these states we need to change. That is hint we need to change to if circle has win, then we need to change player O1, and we need to increase the player cross count, not cross, player circle count by 1. And also current turn we will assign to none, because now no one can put any more circle or cross in that board. That's why I have use that none value current turn, and I will say has one to true this time. And similarly, in the for the cross turn we will copy this and paste here. Else in here we will check for the cross, that if the cross has win or not. If it has won, then I will seek player cross has won, and I will. Okay, so we need to change the parameter to player circle count, and here it will be player cross count. It will increase the player cross count by 1, and again current turn will be none and has 1 to true. In this way we will check. Now let's run our app. Let's play, and this time again we will try to win the game. Okay, as we can see, this hint text has changed to player O1, and also player O count has been increased. But again we need to draw a red line so someone can know which type of win is this. So for that winning line, let's go to the game screen. First we will create a composable function that will return the type of the victory line. So let's create one function, draw victory line. So what this composable function will do, it will check which it will check from that state which type of victory is this. So in the starting it will be a none state, victory type dot none. So what I will do, I will simply say nothing. You have to do nothing. But if the victory type, if we will is of any other type, so we will assign that particular line to that victory type. These functions are the same in which we draw those 8 lines in the last video. We here I just align those lines to that victory type. So this function we will use in this box. So what I will do, first let's minimize this lazy vertical grid from here, and here I will use animated visibility because I need to animate those lines also. Draw vertical line and straight it will take from above. And again it is saying that when it needs to visible the item. So I will say it has to check the value of has one. So how it will check? For in the initially we assign the value to false, so it remains false all the time. But whenever someone will win the game, let's go to the view model, and here it will check for the victory, and if someone has won, so it will change that value to true. And in the same way it will check for the cross. Is if cross has 1, then it will again change the value to true. And whenever we press on that play again button, it will again say the put the has 1 value to false. So in this way it will change the it will change to true to false. So in this way it will keep that I this animated visibility keep an eye on that has 1 state. So whenever that will change to true, it will animate the draw victory line. And we will also provide the enter animation to fade in. We this time we need the fade in animation. We will provide the duration to 2 second, 2000 millisecond. And this animated visibility is giving error. So let's check. So it is saying that it needs to be in the column scope, but we are using it in the box, but and it needs to be in the column. So what we will do, we will just create a column for this, and in that column in this column we will use the fill max width. Similar to that box, we will use those parameters like this: fill max width, aspect ratio 1f. Again we need only square shape. We will align to center both horizontally and vertically, and in that column we will use this animated visibility. So now let's run our app. Now let's play a game. Look, this has drawn a similar type of that line, and also it has changed the hint text and player count. Let's click on that play again button. So this time we will try to win the game for X. Yeah, again it has drawn the line and also increased the count of that X. And this text is something not good. So we just need to delete this. Okay. But first let's play one more game in where we will try to draw the game. Game draw and draw count has increased. Let's play one more final game. So this app is working great. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.